Hello, today I'm going to show you how to draw these compass rose. Let's open a new document. Press the letter M for the rectangle tool or select it from the toolbar panel and draw a long and narrow rectangle. Press the minus key on your keyboard to switch to the Delete Anchor Point tool or select it from the toolbar panel and click on this anchor point to delete it. Select everything, press the letter O for the Reflect tool, and while you are holding down the Alt key, click on this anchor point to set the reflection point. Be sure the axis is set to the vertical position and then click Copy. With the left triangle still selected, change its fill to black. Just click on the stroke box, hold and drag to the fill box. Next we'll create a 4-point star. First switch to the Selection tool and select everything. Now go to Object, Repeat and choose Radial. Let's change the number of instances to 4. Highlight the number in the Radius window and using the down arrow key on your keyboard, adjust the value so the bottom corners are touching. With everything still selected, double-click on the black triangle to isolate it. Next, switch to the Direct Selection tool and select only this anchor point. Now drag it to the center. Select this anchor point and drag it to the center as well. To exit the isolation mode, click on this arrow a few times or press the Escape key on your keyboard instead. Switch to the Selection tool and click on the star to select everything. Let's duplicate this star. Press the Ctrl and C keys on your keyboard to copy it and Ctrl B to paste it in the back. When we open the sublayers of layer 1, we can see our copied star. With the bottom star still selected, hover your cursor over this corner and rotate it by 45 degrees. Next, press the letter S for the Scale tool and then hit Enter. Change the uniform scale value to about 74% and click OK. If you wish to make any changes to the bottom star, first double-click on one of the bottom shapes to isolate it, then switch to the Direct Selection tool and adjust the anchor point position. Now repeat this with the other anchor point so they are both aligned. Let's exit the isolation mode. Next, we'll create these red lines. First, select everything and let's duplicate it. With the copied shape still selected, go to Object and choose Expand. Click OK. Next, open the Pathfinder window and choose Unite. If you wish, change the fill to a different color. Next, go to Object, Path, and choose Offset Path. Change the offset to about 15 pixels and the meter limit to 7. Click on the smaller star and delete it. We won't need it anymore. Now align these two shapes to the center. It helps to have Smart Guides turned on. Let's select the blue star and move it to the bottom. Click away to deselect. Let's create a new layer. Swap the fill in the stroke and change the color to red. Switch to the Ellipse Tool. Click in the center and draw a circle. Be sure the circle contacts the outer points of the smaller star. Let's increase the stroke weight to about 20 points. Next, go to Object and choose Expand. Lock the sublayers with the black and white stars to prevent them from moving. Now select everything and then press the Shift and M keys on your keyboard to switch to the Shape Builder tool. Next, press and hold down the Alt key and then click on the red segments that overlap the blue star. Switch to the Magic Wand tool and click on one of the blue shapes to select all blue shapes at once. Now press the Delete key on your keyboard. Let's lock all layers and create a new layer. Swap the fill and the stroke and change the color to black. Switch to the Ellipse tool and draw a circle that contacts the outer points of the larger star. Lock this layer and create a new layer. Switch to the Pen tool and draw a short vertical line. Select the line and increase the stroke weight to 3 points. Then go to Object, Repeat and choose Radial. Select this Radial Repeat object and move it to the center. Now adjust the radius so the bottom of the short line is aligned with the top circle. Let's zoom in to check the alignment. To correct the alignment, select the line, highlight the value in the radius window, and using the up or down arrow keys on your keyboard, adjust its position. Let's lock this layer and create a new layer. Switch to the Pen tool again and draw a shorter line on top of the existing line. Let's decrease its weight to 1 point. Be sure the short line is selected. Now go to Object, Repeat and choose Radial. And like we did previously, move this Radial Repeat object to the center. Highlight the number in the radius window and using the up arrow key, adjust the distance. Be sure the short lines are aligned with the outer circle. Select the short line and adjust the radius. Be sure the Radial Repeat object is selected and now adjust the number of instances to 64. Let's lock this layer and create a new layer. Now select the Type tool. Click on the artboard and type 360 degrees. To get the degree symbol, go to Type and select Glyphs. Scroll down to find the degree symbol and double-click on it. Close this window. Select the text and choose Align Center from the paragraph options. Let's align it to the center. Now create a copy. Switch to the Type tool, highlight the text and type N for North. Let's align it to the center. If you wish, increase the font size. Next, switch to the Selection tool and select everything. Press the letter R for the Rotate tool, and while you are holding down the Alt key, click in the center to set the rotation point. Type 360/8 and then click Copy. Now press Ctrl D a few times to make additional copies. Switch to the Type tool, highlight the second N letter and change it to NE. Now change the other values to correspond to the right cardinal direction. Let's unlock all layers and move these compass rows up. If you wish to change the orientation of the text to the horizontal position, first click on it and then rotate it by 45 degrees. I'm going to leave it as it is. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.